Hey, what's going on, guys? I wanted to put out a quick video on something I've discovered recently in Battlefield 2042 that I think could strongly be affecting the way the mouse feel is in the game and how bad it is, particularly. It's something we've complained about since launch and something we've chalked up to mouse input for a very long time, which I do think there were input issues. There's probably still are some minor ones, but they're definitely not the biggest culprit as I think I know now. But I want to get the information out there, use it how you want, spread it around. Maybe you can test some things as well. So based on the clips that you're seeing, you might have already figured out it has something to do with what I think is how the game handles vertical recoil, or something about how the game deals with returning your aim point to where you first fired. You're going to see clips from BF5, BF1, and then BF4, and then I'll roll into 2042 and you can see the difference. But I want you to pay close attention to my hand cam on the side of the screen and the actual mouse movement that corresponds to in game, or the aim movement, I should say. So notice that I'll fire a long burst, completely uncontrolled the recoil, the vertical recoil, and then pull down linearly, smoothly at one speed throughout the whole pull. All of the different pulls might not be the exact same speed, but the speed within each individual pull is essentially linear and the same. In the games such as BF5, BF1, and now BF4, you'll see that that corresponds to what you'd expect, which is a smooth linear pull down on screen. But in 2042, it seems almost like, and these aren't going to be the most scientific terms, and I'm sure they're not right, but you'll see what I mean when you see the 2042 clips. It's almost as if the vertical recoil is being cached or kind of built up, and any vertical recoil you don't control must first be overcome before you get your linear smooth pull in 2042. And you're about to see what I mean when the 2042 clips roll. But just compare these 2042 ones coming up to what you've just seen in all the other games, and you'll immediately see this strange kind of jump. So do you see that right there? The weird kind of like laggy looking input, laggy kind of bump in the first movement, even though I'm moving my hand at one speed throughout the entire pull. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, it seems like the vertical recoil is almost caching up for the shots that you don't control it, and then you kind of got to break through this muddy wall of uncontrolled vertical recoil. It seems like it's a trailing value to it. Obviously, if you just wait a moment, that's not going to be there forever. You can't, if you keep shooting and don't control your vertical recoil, you're not going to have 200 shots of uncontrolled recoil. It seems like if you wait the amount of time it would take for the recoil to naturally reset, the effect also goes away. But this would definitely attribute to the really, really weird feeling in game of it's just kind of laggy, especially when you're swapping between targets or trying to track somebody. You get this just muddy, strange feeling as if your sensitivity is slowing down, which is essentially the effect this has. It has the same effect as if your sensitivity slows down, then speeds back up to something normal, which obviously just plays mind games with you. Kind of doing some different things on screen here, just so you can see the very strange way the point of aim interacts based on the actual movements. You can do these tests yourself, which I definitely encourage you to. Come with some of your own opinions on it. In the end, this could, I guess, be nothing. It's not necessarily a bug, I guess. It just is not the way recoil is dealt with in any game I could come up with, even outside of other Battlefield titles. You can try this in, I'd imagine, pretty much any FPS, at least any one that I tried, and you'll notice that the vertical recoil or the recoil control, whatever this is, the effect that you're seeing or saw, it's just very, very different in these games. So there you have it. I've uploaded a video when the game launched on mouse input fixes, and I actually do think there was something there. The game has changed a lot. This is not a game that I play much anymore. I boot it up now and then. The reason I booted it up this time was Season 3 had launched, and I got back from Thanksgiving, decided just to take a look at it. But gosh, as soon as I start playing, the mouse input, well, I don't know if we should call it input anymore, but the mouse feel is just so infuriating. It's so frustrating. And in a game, in a franchise that you care about, you're just constantly trying to get an answer, right? You just want to come up with something. So this is out here now. I'd prefer not to see a bunch of comments about placebo this, that, this is useless. I don't understand it. You don't have to use the information. I just want to put it out there for anybody, maybe the right set of eyes sees this. If there is something here, and they might have a little bit more access to the backside of the game to look at some of these values alongside with doing some of these tests and maybe elaborating on what I've said here. And maybe, there could be some positive changes. If not, worst that happens is nothing. like I said, just want this out here. So there you go. I will talk to you guys in the next one, I suppose. And thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
A sentry kit is available near your location.